Wkwkwkwk? Is this how you say it? How does one become the wukwuk of the wukwukwukwukwuks? Let's find out.
Magic lies in the mind, but my blade follows my...
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Master Wook here is going to tell you some things about Alucard that you may not have known about. When we analyze Alucard's skills, we are presented with a wrongly written passive, an accurate description on skill 1 and 2, and a horribly written ultimate. There's also a completely unmentioned passive skill with actually 2 parts to it. So, I won't keep you hanging and start with the most important thing, Alucard's hidden passive. So this passive took a long time to figure out and a decent amount of testing to completely analyze and debunk. The second part to this hidden passive, from Discord helped me to find, so shout out to you, bro, for finding the final piece. Alucard's hidden passive is the following. Make sure you take some notes. When not in his ultimate state, Alucard will naturally convert 25% of his physical lifesteal into spell vamp. So if you have 20% lifesteal, you get 5% spell vamp.
Killing is always better than giving mercy.
You also get a bonus Retribution heal. The Retribution heal only applies when hitting a minion or a jungle monster. The Retribution heal will heal you for 2 things. The Retribution damage times your percent lifesteal, plus your Retribution damage times your percent spell vamp. During your ultimate, you convert 50% of lifesteal into spell vamp instead. Now the final part that applies is the marked target during your ultimate will give you an additional 50% spell vamp. So skills that hit that target gain an extra 50% spell vamp. But in an effort to explain this better, if we fill the formula with, say, 50% lifesteal and 20% spell vamp from the Festival of Blood talent, during his ultimate, Alucard's auto attacks would be 70% lifesteal, which is 20 increased from the ultimate, and 55% spell vamp. The original 20 from Festival of Blood, plus 35 from half of his lifesteal. However, once he hits a target with his passive, things get a little funky. The description leads you to believe that the more enemies you hit with your passive, the less damage you will deal. But this isn't exactly true. Alucard's passive is written correctly only when referring to skill damage. But when referring to his passive, it's not exactly right. Let me show you the part that's correct.
Everything will come to an end. Hey, not bad.
As you can see, skill damage increases on single targets, but lowers when more enemy heroes are hit by your skills. But if they are grouped up, your passive jump attack thing will actually do the same damage regardless of how many targets you hit. Thanks, MOONTON.
Hey, not bad.
So I hope that cleared out some mysteries for you about Alucard. The last thing I have to show you is a build that I would recommend only when you know the enemy is trying to counter you with anti-regen items. Or at least that's what I was originally going to do. See, I almost finished this video, but I had to go back. I just had to do one final review, and something caught my eye in one of the clips. And it made me realize something different. So the thing is, anti-lifesteal or anti-regen items don't exactly work against Alucard. If my basic attacks are healing me for 125 every time, and then someone comes along with a life drain item, then my lifesteal is reduced to 62. But the biggest misunderstanding is that this is reducing my lifesteal. It's not, and I'll explain why. Simply look at my lifesteal stat while this item effect is on me. Exactly, it isn't halved, which means Alucard's hidden passive also remains unaffected. If Deadly Blade or the Necklace of Durance actually did indeed halve my lifesteal, then my hidden passive would make my natural spell vamp be decreased as well, but it doesn't. In reality, what's actually happening here is that when you use an auto attack, your lifesteal applies to it, but then it is converted into a regen effect. That's why the items seem to work, but they technically don't, specifically when speaking about his passive. And just in case you guys are wondering why the spell vamp from Festival of Blood, the answer is because spell vamp is not affected by anti-regen items as we described before. So running Festival of Blood makes Alucard sustain more, which is essential in this meta. However, if you are the type of person that prefers to run the Blade of Despair instead of the Blade of the Heptases, please note that this is fine, just a bit more expensive, and while you deal more true damage and more auto attack damage, your skill damage is basically the same. While at the same time, you may want to consider running Bounty Hunter to make up for the expense of the build when you add in Blade of Despair instead of the Heptases. I did also manage to fix my stream lag, and it turns out YouTube is the culprit. So from now on, I will be streaming on both Twitch/YouTube. Because YouTube has a 30-second to 1-minute delay on chat from stream, I thought something was wrong with stuff on my end. But after trying out Twitch, it turns out Twitch only has a 7-second delay. Unbelievable. But that's it from me for this video on Alucard. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, Zero out.
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. What you got to say? Press play. Press play. I wanna hear what you got to say. Don't pause, press play. Press play. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Press play.